checking in again. So we're off on another little adventure, little photography adventure. This time we're off to Torridon in the northwest Highlands of Scotland. So it's quite a long drive, eh? You know, I've set off from the Lake District today, from the South Lakes as well, kind of 11:15 or something like that. It's now nearly 4, just passing the kind of cairngorms. Don't know if you can see them out the window, potentially not. But yeah, just passing the cairngorms, we've got to head all the way up to Inverness and then head across to Torridon. And what we've got planned is a couple of days, maybe 3 days of a combination of some photography, some actual kind of landscape photography, and hopefully take you on a bit of a journey as that kind of happens, on the hunt for some good photos hopefully, but also a bit of climbing, a bit of winter climbing, and the camera, you know, hopefully will be coming on that trip too. So there might be quite a mix of photos from this little adventure. Not actually been to Torridon before either. I mean, I've been to the Highlands many times working. I'm a mountaineering instructor, so I spend a bit of time in the Highlands, kind of working and playing, and I've never actually been to Torridon, so I'm quite excited about that. So yeah, we're up in Torridon at the moment. Been out in Glen Torridon up until yesterday evening, and then the snow came in pretty heavily, so had to kind of run away because there was definitely a danger of getting kind of snowed in there. So we've bailed basically after a bit of flat battery, sort of action down to Loch Maree, sort of in between kind of Glen Torridon and that's the brew ready, sort of in between Glen Torridon and sort of Gairloch basically. And it's been snowing overnight, and yeah, it looks pretty nice actually, but it's not kind of been as heavy down at this level anyway as maybe it could have been, but it still looks pretty nice. But it is a bit cloudy and sort of not that exciting in the sky, unfortunately. We're going to go for a little wander anyway and see what we can find. You know, if anything, it'll be a scouting mission for another day, because hey, you know, we don't want to waste a day. So, you know, even if it's just kind of a check out the venue and maybe have something in mind for another day, then that's kind of a win for me. So here we are, we've arrived. We were going to go down to Loch Clara or something? I can't even remember now, but yeah, we've just kind of driven along the edge of Loch Maree, and we've got this amazing, wait for the cars to go past, got this amazing outlook across the loch with some really nice light. So even though it looked like it wasn't going to be all that, got this kind of amazing sort of vista. So yeah, so what we're going to do, I think, is just park up here for a little bit, and then yeah, go over, where are we, over here somewhere, yeah, or maybe kind of further up, and just kind of see if we can get some nice vistas kind of down the loch with this absolutely killer mountain in the background. So let's go and see what we can find. I do feel like such a wally making these videos when other people drive past and stuff, but I've just got to get over it, right? If you ever watch anything of Thomas Heaton's, check him out. He's like a good tog, makes some absolutely brilliant videos. Nice one, Thomas, shout out. He's the same man. He's always kind of avoiding other people, and I'm always like, oh, you know, what's wrong with you, Thomas? Just sort it out. But you know what? I get it. Yeah, what an absolutely epic day this is. I mean, it sort of started all clagged in, and you know, a lot of kind of sort of typical horizontal sort of wet snow really, and then yeah, you sort of look out the van window and you think, well, it's not a lot going to go on today. I'll have an extra brew and yeah, a little bit of a rest really after a couple of days of climbing and stuff up on Benet and some of the other mountains, and then you go out to have a little bit of a scout around, see if you can find some good locations for another day. And here's what you get blue sky, you get really nice kind of fleeting light, and yeah, a little bit of snow on the ground. Let me show you what's going on. If I just spin this wee camera around, see if we can do this, I'll show you what we've got. I mean, look at that. I don't know if you can see some pretty epic views to be had. Whoa, look at this. And where we're going to head is down by these trees and see if we can get some sort of foreground interest with this fella in the background. So let's see if we can do that, shall we? Yeah, cool. So we've come down to the edge of the loch. I'll show you in a minute. And yeah, the plan was to go and photograph those trees, but we have a little bit of a problem. Let me show you what that problem is. Uh-oh, we've got a river in the way. Yeah, so we need to kind of get across there. There are the trees. Was looking for a bit of a composition with those in, but it wasn't really working from down here. We need to get over there somehow, over this river. It's definitely not a wet foot kind of day really. So we might have a bit of a composition here. I think my first tip for this video is going to be one that maybe I've mentioned before, but you know, like sometimes it's just a good idea to just get a shot in, you know, because once you've had that one shot, even if it's not that great, it just kind of like opens your mind a little bit. Well, it does for me anyway. So I've got this kind of nice composition here, and I've got this mountain in the background. I really need to check on the map what it's called. I'll put it on the screen in a minute. Apologies to those who know. I should know, I'm a flipping mountaineering instructor, right? But I've got this mountain in the background, or this Munro, maybe it's Munro, and I've got these trees in the foreground, and what I want to do is like a little bit of a kind of framing, maybe even a square crop with the trees in the foreground, mountain in the background, kind of punched in a little bit with the lens. So yeah, it's just good to get a shot in, so I think that's a really great tip. Probably stolen it from somebody else, but even if I'm doing some street photography, I just get that first shot and then I'm just like psyched to get other shots out. Yeah, it's not that great if I'm totally honest with you. I'm just going to take it anyway. But it's a good tip just to see what things look like through the phone. I mean, the only thing I find though, I don't know about you guys, is like with phones these days, I don't know what kind of JPEG profile or whatever colour profile they have kind of baked into them for the sort of default, but like, my God, like they're saturated, right? You'll be out trying really hard to take some good photographs with your expensive flipping mirrorless or DSLR or whatever it is that you guys shoot on, and you know, someone next to you pulls out their iPhone, whatever, takes a shot and looks flipping amazing, right? Maybe it doesn't look kind of quite true to life, but looks pretty good against your kind of shoddy effort of trying to recreate like what things look like. But hey, I guess that's the way it's going. Right, let's get set up, see what we can find. Alright, so next thing that I like to do, that once I've framed stuff with the old iPhone. Oh, where's everything going? Oh my God. Might get like a moody shot with the clouds in the background, eh? But mountains disappeared. Next thing I like to do is like try and frame it through the old camera and just sort of see what it looks like. And the problem I've got now is it's impossible to frame because I can't even see the bugger. But you know, we might be able to get a nice shot anyway. Just have a little wander around, see what's going on. Just like a quick handheld of these pines with that mist in the background. It's handheld f8, 640th of a second. ISO 400. When I'm not working on a tripod, I tend to shoot at ISO 400. It just gives me a little bit more leeway with those faster shutter speeds. Yeah, you know, big sensor on this Nikon just means that it's kind of less forgiving with lower shutter speeds. So yeah, just going for that kind of ISO 400 means of shooting slightly faster. Focusing on the trees, f8, thousandth of a second, ISO 400 I think. Let's just have a quick look what that was. Yeah, not that great to be honest. So yeah, one of those mornings where you kind of didn't really get what you wanted, although to be honest I kind of went out without any sort of plan at all, which I guess is a good thing to do, right? I mean, we can't always have like this plan where we're gonna go and get a particular shot, but you know, I should have really done some research, to be honest, you know, worked out some different places to go and stuff, but rather than just heading out. But I was literally just driving down this A road past Loch Maree and it just looked amazing. I thought, oh, I've got to stop here, try and get some shots, and had this vision of getting these trees with, you know, the mountain in the background. It just didn't come to fruition really. You know, I'll put a few of the shots up on the screen so you can sort of see what I did get, but nothing that exciting, but the process was quite enjoyable, to be fair. But anyway, had some lunch, and I'm now kind of still by Loch Maree because just kind of cruising along again, just having a look around. Just come across a couple of nice places where there could be some good compositions, and the light seems to be really nice again. So I'll spin the gimbal around on this and I'll show you what I mean. So here's the first one, which actually I didn't see from the road. I've just walked past it now. Here we go. It's on a wide angle, this, so it might not be easy to see, but we'll spin it around. Okay, I'll tell you what, let's pop this wide angle lens off. Does that even do anything? And maybe, can we zoom in? No, we can't zoom in. So what we've got here is this little lone tree that you can just about see. And obviously the mountain in the background, so there's potentially something that we could do with that. And then the other thing which I noticed is these, well, I don't know if you can see any of this, these pines here, which I think as a foreground feature could work really well, and kind of what I was looking for with the good old mountain in the background. God knows if this wide angle thing works, right? So this is with a wide angle, without a wide angle, with a wide angle, without a wide angle. Great video this, isn't it? Whew. The great thing about Scotland, particularly in the west coast, you can really see the weather coming. Look at that beast. Looks incredible, doesn't it? But that is snow. That is snow and wind. It's going to get pretty epic in a minute. So I've scouted about quite a bit, settled on a composition, and it's flipping booting it down with snow. I don't know if you can tell on this video, but it's proper snowing. And the composition is basically here. I'll show it you. So, oh, wrong way. All right, so there's the camera. You see the little pines there? Yeah, so the pines are there, and in the background, believe it or not, there is actually a pretty cool hill. All right, so yeah, well, that's the plan. Whoa, where have you gone? That's the plan, eh? And if you look behind me, there is some kind of light coming through. So these snowstorms tend to kind of blow through quite quickly. So back there, you can sort of see that there is a bit of light coming. So hopefully we'll get something. I mean, I don't know if we're going to get anything on these trees, which is what it really needs. But hey, it's good to be out, right? So I've been stood here for the last 15 minutes in an absolute blizzard. Had to put stuff away really. It's just turning into a massive box of ice. But finally, I'm not going to turn you around, but over there we've got some sunshine and some blue sky over there. So fingers crossed, the mountain is starting to appear. Got these trees in the foreground, hoping to take a little bit of a shot with them sort of in the bottom left hand third-ish, and obviously the mountain sort of balancing that in the top right. I Just need a little bit more light. I mean, the mountain looks really atmospheric, right? I'm a climber and I just want to go up there and like go and explore some of those gullies, but just need a little bit more definition so we can just see the top of it in the cloud. And I would absolutely love some light on these pines in the foreground. I think we'll take the shot anyway. We'll study it long enough. Oh, it just needs lights on those trees, man. How good's Photoshop AI? Add light on Scots pines. Are they even Scots pines? So I'm shooting, I'm focused on the trees basically at f11. Shooting at ISO 64, the wind's gone now that kind of little bit of a squall came through. So this is super solid, so ISO 64, and it kind of works out about a 20th of a second. And I've got my little histogram on the back, kind of checking just to make sure I'm not blowing out any of those highlights up there. Look at this sunlight coming in from the left. Absolutely fantastic. Kind of tempted to try a different shot as well, which would be like to stick a filter on, like an ND filter, and smooth out the water, because I don't know if you can tell in this video, but the water has, you know, it's pretty windy, or it has been. Definitely windy, definitely will be windy down Loch Maree there. And there are quite a few ripples on the water, which I know does show the wind and all that, but kind of tempted to smooth that out a little bit and see how that looks. So while we've still got some light, I'm just going to bang that filter on and see if I can slow it down. These are like case magnetic filters. We've only got a couple in here. I've got a 64 and an 8, so I might try a 64. I love that you can just clip them on, it's just so cool. Alright, let's see what we get with that. So I'll bring my shutter speed up to deal with that. I'm looking at 2 seconds at f11, which is like not too bad, I guess. That might just kind of smooth the water out a little bit. Just looks slightly underexposed. Might just give that a little bit more. 2.5 seconds at f11. Look at the light on this now. It's got this absolutely spectacular light. Just walking back to the van, and this is the little view that I saw on the way in. It does kind of look like there might be a bit of maybe one last little bit of light coming through, I don't know. This rock in the kind of foreground, this tree here, this mountain, maybe with an ND filter on to smooth out the water. Let's see how that goes, shall we? So not a bad day all in all, and yeah, a bit of a lesson learned, I guess. Like, don't give up, you know. A bit of a rubbish morning, like, you know, some crappy light, not really managing to get any decent compositions. Then out this afternoon, and yeah, some nice light in between the squalls. Found a nice view with some pines and a lone tree, and yeah, the images kind of look okay, really. Anyway, thanks for checking in. I'm now back in the van. You know, it's snowing again. It's like 4 o'clock and it's time to go to the Cairngorms. See you next time.